What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we're going to be talking about Vinco Ventures, ticker symbol BBIG, because they have been having a rough past couple of days. If you look at this chart, you can see that they're down fairly massively, right? They were up at $8.95 just 5 days ago. Now they're down at $5.35. However, it's looking like the pain for BBIG might be over, right? If you're looking at the long term, you can see over the past 30 days, we also found a bottom at $5. So we recently did actually just bounce off of this $5 level a couple of times, right? On our descent, we ended up bouncing off here all the way up to over $6 at one point, right? And then during the pre-market this morning, we also bounced off of $5. And since then, we've been trading steadily above it, consolidating. So it's my expectation that hopefully we will not be trading below $5, for some time or any time in the near future, right? We want to see the stock eventually start trending upwards as the tyde dividend nears. Now, the real reason why the stock ended up dumping a little bit was, well, a couple-fold, right? There were a couple of reasons. One, first, people were expecting the tyde dividend to come out October 22nd, as was highlighted in this initial investor PowerPoint that Vinco Ventures released. However, it was eventually revealed in this SEC filing that the dividend was going to be delayed until around December 27th. So that's given a lot of people pause with this stock, right? People are waiting to see how this stock does over the next 2 months while they wait for the dividend. Maybe a lot of people decided to exit their positions and get out of them. And that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, right? Because if there are other plays that you're interested in, then you might want to take the next 2 months to engage in those and then get in the stock a couple of weeks before the dividend when it's likely to start running up again on that news, because a lot of the buying pressure that we saw for this stock over the past month or two was due to the tyde dividend, right? A lot of people wanted to be invested in the stock at the record date and end up getting the spin-off company, tyde. So it's understandable that a lot of people began selling when it was announced that the tyde dividend was going to be delayed. However, there's also another reason why BBIG has been dropping a bit, and you can actually see that highlighted on Reddit and wallstreetbets as well as StockTwits, right? These two platforms have both been overwhelmed by stocks like DWAC, MARK, PHUN, BENE, and a bunch of others that are tied to this Trump social media network that's going to be debuting sometime, but has essentially been tied to the stock DWAC, right? This is the SPAC that's going to take Trump's social media network public. And that actually means that BBIG, as well as a bunch of other squeeze and momentum plays, have been suffering a little bit, likely because some momentum players or some momentum traders ended up exiting their positions on stocks like these to get in on the newest hot stocks. So it's understandable, right, that BBIG ended up seeing a bit of a decline. However, this $5 level is likely the bottom for this stock, in my opinion at least, right? As long as this support holds, hopefully it will. But you can also see that the short interest has been decreasing today, right? So this may actually be an indication that shorts are thinking that $5 is at least a temporary bottom as well, right? Obviously, shorts are going to try to push this thing down if they can. The short interest is still very high. It's at 26%. However, it is worth noting that we are down a little bit today. Normally, you would see short interest being up. We're not at 100% utilization yet, so there is still the potential to be shorting a little bit more. But rather, we're actually seeing that shorts have decreased their position today, potentially, because they're going to try to reallocate some capital, maybe to get involved in those pump stocks as well, DWAC, PHUN, MARK. However, BBIG, it is taking some of the pressure off. So maybe shorts are identifying this as a temporary bottom. Maybe shorts are just trying to get some of their capital back to allocate elsewhere. But it is worth noting that they aren't shorting this as heavily as they have been in the past, at least not today, now that it has gotten to $5. So that is rather important. Now, if you look at BBIG stock, you can see a trend, which is unfortunate, right? We are actually decreasing in search volume. There's less people searching for BBIG today than there have been pretty much the entire past week. You can see that almost every day had higher peaks. And, while the day isn't over, it's only 2:42. There's still an hour and 18 minutes left of the trading day. I find it unlikely that search volume on Google is going to spike for BBIG during that time frame. It just doesn't seem like the kind of thing that typically happens. Typically, you end up seeing very high search volumes near the beginning of the day, and then they trend downwards as the trading day goes on, which, is what happened here. We had the highest search volumes around 7, 8, and kind of at 9. But we have been trending down search volume-wise throughout the rest of the day as fewer people have been searching for stocks, right? And as well, you saw on Reddit and wallstreetbets, some of the top stocks were DWAC, MARK, PHUN, and BBIG is down all the way at spot number 25. It's down 6 spots today. It's just getting less attention in comparison to a lot of those other stocks, even though its relative comparison to itself is actually doing fairly well, right? Up 16% mention-wise over the past 24 hours, but we're still down 6 spots just because all those other stocks are just taking over the leaderboards and kind of drowning out BBIG news. So you can also see the same thing on StockTwits. BBIG is nowhere to be seen on either the top 10 most active or top 10 trending stocks. Unfortunately, right? You see stocks like PHUN, DWAC, MARK, BENE. These are all stocks tied to the tied to the Trump social media network that's coming out sometime soon. So that's what's been going on with BBIG, and it really is unfortunate that a lot of these open interest call options have recently been pushed out of the money. If you look at the $5.5 call options, 10,000 open interest have just been pushed out of the money, 6,000 for $6, almost 7,000 for $6.50, 10,000 for $7, 11,000 for $7.50, 7,000 for $8. If you look just over the past 5 days, you can see that a lot of those would have been in the money, as this stock was above $8 and $8.50 for some of the time as well. So it's really unfortunate for a lot of those option holders. And for the institutions that have sold those options, they are likely going to be very happy about this because they no longer have to worry about those options being in the money, right? As long as this stock doesn't pump up over the next couple of days until this Friday, that's when this October 29th strike date is. It's likely that these institutions will end up collecting a lot of premium on these strike prices for these call options. So they have actually made a little bit of a win here, and it's unfortunate to see that those institutions are making a win instead of getting gamma squeezed. So that's what we have on BBIG stock. It's an unfortunate situation. However, there is not much to worry about over the long term, right? Because we still have that tyde dividend coming. I think that $5 is likely going to act as some kind of support. It might not hold if institutions double down on their shorts, and especially if they have more capital that they've just collected from these premiums. Who knows what they're going to do next? They're not afraid to manipulate these things downwards, so that is something to watch out for. However, it seems like 5 is a very strong level. You can see that in the past, when we've pumped up, 5 has often acted as a resistance for us, and so it makes perfect sense if we extend this to the left that it will act as support now that we are on the other side of it. Right now that we're above 5, it's on our way down. 5 is likely going to act as a strong support, as it has in the past, right? We got bumped up almost to $10, right? Just to 9 in the past when we bounced off of 5. This might not be as large of a bounce because the tyde dividend is not coming out for the next 2 months. So we are going to have to keep an eye on that and keep an eye on other BBIG news, because a lot of people were actually discouraged from investing in BBIG when the company, when Vinco Ventures decided to delay the dividend. It kind of screwed a lot of people. A lot of people were invested in it and had been buying it right before the expected dividend date because they wanted a part of that dividend, and then they lost a bunch of money when they announced that it wasn't going to happen. The stock dropped a ton, and a lot of people did end up losing significant amounts of money. So it is rather unfortunate, and a lot of people did lose trust in BBIG. However, there are still people holding this thing, and it looks like they're holding it at 5. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it. I will keep you guys updated on any new developments that happen with BBIG, but that's what I've got for you today. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe, and join me every Monday, or rather every day of the week, not just every Monday. Every day of the week, we're doing live streams starting at 9, hopefully, maybe 9:30 on days that I wake up late. But other than that, guys, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. So maybe see you in the live streams. Bye.